What's up and welcome back to the Gridiron with Chance Aspen. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. Now, enjoy this video. Alright, welcome back to my 5 NFL thoughts. Again, if you don't know by now, I give you 5 NFL thoughts every single week. And this is wild card weekend of my 5 NFL thoughts. Let's get into it. Thought number 1. The Pittsburgh Steelers have to make some changes. Just having a winning record isn't good enough anymore. Like, we get it. You win. You have a winning record for however many years. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. But that's not good enough. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, they want more. They want a chance to go win a Super Bowl. And clearly, just having a winning record is not getting you to a Super Bowl. You got to make changes. Now, I think Mike Tomlin's a hell of a coach. But maybe it's time to move on from him. It's definitely time to move on from Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. They clearly were not the answer at quarterback. Sorry, but they're not good enough. They're not two guys that you know can take you to a Super Bowl anymore. Russ is past his prime, and Justin Fields just isn't that guy. So is Mike Tomlin willing to make some of those changes? Is he willing to fix the offensive line? Is he willing to get more receiving help? Is he willing to get a new quarterback? We know he can coach defense. But the offensive side of the ball has been god-awful for the past however many years since Ben Roethlisberger left. And even before he left, it was a struggle. I'm not advocating for Mike Tomlin to be fired, but something has to change in Pittsburgh. This is not the standard of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their standard is to win championships, and that's what they're not doing right now. They're having all these winning records, but then getting boat raced in the playoffs. That's not the standard. And I don't know if it's moving on from Mike Tomlin. I don't know what the answer is yet. But something's got to change. Because that Ravens game wasn't even as close as the score said it was. It said it was 28-14. It wasn't even close. That game was over by the time the ball kicked off. Everybody knew that. Nobody gave the Pittsburgh Steelers a chance. It was a mismatch. Something's got to change in Pittsburgh. Because the Steelers franchise is about winning Super Bowls. And right now, they're not even close to doing that. Thought number 2. If the Ravens can run the ball like they did against the Steelers, they are going to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's it. If Baltimore does not get in their own heads, and that's what worries me most about Baltimore, is I think sometimes they overthink things. They try to prove to people that they can throw the ball all over the field instead of just doing what they do best, and that's running the football. You got Derrick Henry, who's playing as good as he's ever played in his life. I don't know how. It seems like he keeps getting better, even though he's getting older, which is rare for running backs. Normally, when running backs get older, they get worse. He seems to get better with age. And you got Lamar Jackson. That is a dynamic running game that nobody else in the NFL has an answer for. If they can run the ball like they did against the Steelers, they ran the ball for almost 300 yards. Let me say that again. 300 yards. If they can do that the rest of the way. Now, obviously, they're not going to run the ball for 300. But if they can consistently stick with the running game. Because remember, that was the problem last year in the AFC Championship game against Kansas City. They only ran the ball like 8 times that game. That's a problem. That's not Raven football. Ravens football is running the ball. The passing game has gone to another level this year with Lamar. I get it. He's improved tremendously. But that's not how you're built. You're built to run the ball. And if they can just keep running the ball how they did against Pittsburgh, they are going to be the favorites, in my opinion, to win it all. Thought number 3. The Houston Texans defense and DeMeco Ryans won the game against the Chargers. Now, look, I know we like to give the credit to the quarterback, and everybody loves the quarterback, and I love C.J. Stroud. But that game was won by the Houston Texans defense. Derek Stingley Jr., the All-Pro, what a game he had, 2 interceptions. Will Anderson was unblockable for most of that day. Kamari Lassiter, a rookie, is another great young player for the Texans. And DeMeco Ryans motivating his team, calling the defense. What a coach he is. Just what a win for the Houston Texans. Nobody gave them a chance in that game against the Chargers. The Texans were limping into the playoffs, struggling. The Chargers were flying high, and the Texans beat them. And that's a credit to DeMeco. getting his guys ready to play in a big-time playoff game in their stadium, and they won. And it's a big-time win for the Texans. Thought number 4. The Philadelphia Eagles did not look sharp at all, but they have so much talent, it didn't matter. That's the issue with the Eagles. They're so talented at every position, and they're stacked at every position, that they can play awful. I don't even think they played their B game against the Packers, and they still won pretty comfortably. That's insane, and that just shows how talented they are. And it does worry you a little bit that they struggled that much on offense, especially. Their defense was really good, but offensively, especially the pass game with Jalen Hurts, was god-awful. But it also was like, wow, this team has so much talent, it didn't even look like it mattered how bad they were, which is insane to think about. So if they even play their B game, I think they're going to cruise to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they're going to cruise to the Super Bowl. My 5th and final thought here from Wild Card Weekend. Here it is, thought number 5. What a win for the Washington Commanders against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's just what I wanted to talk about. That's a fantastic win. You go from struggling as a franchise. You hire Dan Quinn. You draft Jaden Daniels. And it's gone about as good as it could go in your first year as a head coach and as a rookie quarterback. Reminds me a lot of Houston last year. Rookie coach, rookie quarterback, and you go out there and you make the playoffs and you win a playoff game. The Commanders just deserve credit for what they've done. It's been a remarkable year. However it ends now. It could end in Detroit, or who knows, maybe they shock the world and they go to the NFC Championship game. But they deserve a round of applause for how well they've played this year, because they've played fantastic football all year long. And this is just the start of what they're building. I would expect over the next couple of years, they're going to have a chance to make a run at a Super Bowl. But that's my NFL thoughts. Again, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment, and have an awesome day.